for our acts. The sea can be deep for our diving. Hope comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
The views and opinions expressed on Trudging Together are solely those of the host, co-host, and our guests. They do not necessarily reflect the views of any organization, fellowship, or other entity, and definitely not your boss, your neighbor, or that one guy in your home group. The content of this program is not intended to replace medical, psychological, or professional advice. If you're looking for that, please seek guidance from qualified professionals who spent way too many years in school. What you'll hear here is based on lived experience, recovery journeys, and the occasional bad coffee-fueled joke. Trudging Together is not affiliated with any 12-step fellowship. We are simply people sharing our stories and walking this path together, one day at a time. Thank you for joining us, and remember, recovery is serious business, but that doesn't mean we can't laugh along the way.
And we're here. As the new intro, the new introduction, which I spent some time on today. That's been something that's been updated a few times. All right. All that took was my time. I had time and some effort. A little bit of money. I had to spend a little bit of money. I'm already paying for some of these services like ChatGPT. ChatGPT made almost all those pictures. I had it help me come up with a disclaimer. I used text to speech, was free. I had to create some pictures for me that went with it. It's not quite there, but it's good enough to use right now anyway. And it makes me feel like I'm getting something accomplished at least. So it was more of a test than it was anything else. I wanted to make sure that, number one, that it worked, that the sound was good. Sometimes you lose quality. First video I made, it took the guitar out. I'm like, well, where's the guitar? Okay, there's a lot missing here. So let's get started. We're going to be in the big book. Welcome to Daily Trudge. I'm Dion. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. We are in There Is a Solution, is where we're going to talk. And I may skim through this, is what I'm going to do. Because otherwise we kind of get the same stuff every time, and that could get a little boring, right? Yeah. So let's get some more gel, and let's get this party started. We is the first word, right? And this is where we tend to say this is where the big book starts, right? Because what we had before this were the forward. We had the forwards. We had the preface. We had the doctor's opinion. We had Bill's story. This is all kind of, all this stuff more, informational than it is educational, right? Except for Bill's story. Well, and doctor's opinion. All right. So it is a big belief that this is where the big book starts. If you don't want to go with it, that's fine. What we'll do is we'll go to the forward of the first edition. And the first word is we. And it starts off with we. Not me, not them, not they, we. And who are the we? Who are the we? They were the first 100 members of Alcoholics Anonymous. Right? I hear this very often, but see, a lot of people think that Bill wrote the big book. And in a sense, he did write the big book. Right? He wrote the outline for the big book. But the rest of it was the 100 people. Otherwise, this would have been a much different book. Bill was very Christian and kind of a dick. You know, he was a hard man. He had been through wars. He had been through a lot of stuff. He was a hard man. And he was definitely Christ-centered, right? So, you know, we don't talk about this much in the meetings anymore, but the miracle of the big book is that 100 alcoholics could agree on something. That was the big thing. Hey, Heather, good to see you. Good to see you. It's weird because I had this whole, you know, I redid my introduction, the opening and stuff. Hardly anybody's ever going to see it. Somebody gets here till like 2-3 minutes after I get started. So maybe the rewatchers and everybody else. Yeah, that'll be it. All right. So that is the first word. We of Alcoholics Anonymous know thousands of men and women who are just as hopeless as Bill. Nearly all have recovered. They have solved the drink problem. I've solved the drink problem, right? And I have recovered. I'm a recovered alcoholic, right? That means I've done the steps and then I get to use my brain again. It means I'm no longer insane, that I do not have insane thinking. That's what it means. I'm not cured of alcoholism. No, but I am recovered. I am recovered from a hopeless state of mind and body, right? Nearly all recovered. They were just as hopeless as Bill, right? Is that my kitty cat? Make sure I didn't have some strange animal in the window well. We are average Americans. All sections of this country and many of its occupations are represented. I might change that a little bit. All sections of this world. Yeah. Of the world. And many of its occupations are represented. Every occupation is represented. Right? Every legal occupation is represented. Every background, every nationality, every age, every thought process, everything. Yeah. Right? As well as many political, economic, social, and religious backgrounds. We all have different backgrounds. But isn't it weird that we all tend to have the same type of story? Yeah. It'd be weird. You will hear somebody tell a story in AA, and they will be the complete opposite of what you went through, and they will tell your story. It'll be weird. And by, you know, growing up in a different type of family, different part of the country, what you would think is total opposite of you. Nope. No. Because somebody listens to country music and a different person listens to rock and roll, even there's division, but these are the same people. They just prefer a different type of music. Oh, you got a kitty cat. Can you see the kitty cat head? Can you see it? Oh, it went away. How much is that kitty in the window? Meow, meow, meow. Oh, I did that. I'll probably get some cats running me, right? We are people would not normally mix. I didn't really mix with anybody. I ran everybody off, right? So, but that's not what they're saying here, right? I wouldn't have drank with one of you. No. I might have drank with you if you were buying. As long as it didn't affect my drinking, I was fine with it. I didn't like hanging out with other alcoholics. You want to know why? Because they steal your alcohol. That's why. But maybe from a different view. Like right now, things are very political, right? I have a lot of friends that voted for somebody different than I did. Doesn't bother me. It's when people start like pointing a finger at me and lumping me and just that's when I'm like, man, no thanks. Nah. I'd rather find a place that we agree on so that we can both have a better day. I think I'd rather do that. All right. So, so we are people would not normally mix, but there exists among us a fellowship, a friendliness, and understanding which is indescribably wonderful. There we go. There's that indescribably wonderful. That means I don't know how to describe it to you. I really don't. I'm going to do the best that I can. Right. I do the best that I can to describe it to you. I know it does. For me, it just doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't. I don't really care who you are. I mean, I care who you are. I care, but I don't make requirements for my help. Right? I'm not going to make. I'm not going to make you jump through hoops for me to help you. I'm not going to do that. Right? See, I've been where you've been, and this is what connects us. This is what connects us. I've been where you've been. I know the feelings. I know what loneliness. I know what loneliness, such as few understand, it feels like. I do. I know what it means to be abandoned, to be made fun of. I know all that. I've experienced it. Okay. It's when I stop pointing fingers everywhere and become a part of the brotherhood that things start to change. Okay. Things are a little different for us. Right. Unlike the feeling, oh, wait a minute. We are like the passengers of a great liner the moment after rescue from shipwreck, when camaraderie, joyousness, and democracy pervade the vessel from steerage to captain's table. Unlike the feelings of the ship's passengers, however, our joy and escape from disaster does not subside as we go our individual ways. Why is that? Because I'm going to meet some of you outside of meetings. And this is not by accident. Now, when your intentions change, new people will show up. Different people will show up. It's been my experience. But I'm going to have to kind of become that first. Right? I'm going to have to change my intentions. Right? The feeling of having shared in a common peril is one element in the powerful cement which binds us, but that in itself would never have held us together as we are now joined. The tremendous fact for every one of us is that we have discovered a common solution. Now, remember in the beginning here, I was talking about the miracle of the book, which is that 100 alcoholics agreed on something. Here we are. That every one of us, the first 100, is that we have discovered a common solution. We have a way out on which we can absolutely agree and upon which we can join in brotherly and harmonious action. This is the great news this book carries to those who suffer from alcoholism. And what are we back to? Well, we're back to we. We is not done alone. You're going to try. You're going to try and do it yourself. I already know you are. You probably already have tried. Good chance. Yeah. I never bothered. I never tried to quit on my own. I knew it wouldn't work. I'd already been convinced of that. I knew better than that. I don't want it. What's the point in getting sober and getting recovery if you can't enjoy it with other people? Right? It's like when you buy a new car. When you buy a new car, even if it's new to you, that car is not new, nor is it cool until your friend sees it. Otherwise, it's just another car. Your new song, your new painting, your new whatever isn't cool until somebody else sees it. We're connected. All right. I was going to talk to my therapist about that a little bit earlier. For the most part, I really don't care what people think of me. I do care what people think of me. I may be stupid not to. Of course I do. All right. Now, if this one person says one thing and I don't really know them, it doesn't affect. But if this person over here says the same thing, but I'm close to them, I have a fear of abandonment. Weird, huh? So I do care what people think about me. Absolutely, I do. You know, I don't want to be that asshole anymore. I don't. Mm-mm. I want you to think well of me because I spent most of my life trying to get you to think the opposite way of me. What I did before is I used my anger to make you fear me. Wasn't respect, it was fear. But at least it was something. That fear, instilling fear in others, was better than nothing at all. And that's scary. An illness of this sort, and we have come to believe it an illness, involves those about us in a way no other human sickness can. Name another one for me. I know you're going to go into addiction. Name another mental illness, an illness of this sort. And you can't use drugs because, see, anybody can be a drug addict. Not everybody can be an alcoholic. It's not how it works. We're born bodily and mentally different. And it's the only disease that does this, that you're born with. Notice I made the qualification, right? If a person has cancer, all are sorry for him. No one's angry or hurt. But not so with the alcoholic illness, for with it there goes annihilation of all things worthwhile in life. It engulfs all whose lives touches the sufferer. It brings misunderstanding, fierce resentment, financial insecurity, disgusted friends and employers, warped lives of blameless children, of sad wives and parents. Anyone can increase the list. We hope this volume will inform those who are or who may be affected. There are many. Now I'm going to go to the end of There's a Solution. We're going to do a couple paragraphs there. All right. And we'll finish up there because I got to go get ready for the meeting because it starts in 20 minutes. So we think it no concern of ours what religious bodies our members identify with as individuals. This should be an entirely personal affair which each one decides for himself in the light of past association or the present choices. Not all of us join religious bodies, but most of us favor such memberships. Yeah, I don't care how you're going to believe. Doesn't, and the only way I'm going to say anything is if I hear you talking shit about one of my friends or something and you think it's okay, right? I'm probably going to say something. And even then, I don't know that, okay, that makes no sense. All right. In the following chapter, there appears an explanation of alcoholism as we understood it. Then a chapter addressed to the agnostic. Hey, Amber, glad you made it. So, did you watch the video? I might play it here again. I don't know. You guys will all see it eventually. It's not that great, honestly. It's an opening. The song matters more than anything than the video, right? And if you don't know, that theme song was written and performed by my niece when she was 17. And she based it off of my recordings and what I did. Made me feel very good. And there's a full-length version. I keep threatening to get her into the studio, but I just haven't had the money. Then a chapter addressed the agnostic. Many who were once in this class are now among our members. Surprisingly enough, we find such convictions no great obstacles to a spiritual experience. Further on, clear-cut directions are given showing how we recovered. These are followed by 42 personal experiences. Now, you may not know this, but that word 42 personal experiences is the only thing that's changed in the first 164 pages on a regular basis. Because it depends on how many stories. Wait till the next one comes out. That'll change. But it's the only thing that'll change in the first 164 pages. Just an interesting fact. It means nothing. Amber says, was getting pieces for Isaac's costume at Michael's. Yeah, we're doing homemade this year. Woohoo! Each individual in the personal stories describes in his own language and from his own point of view the way he established his relationship with God. These give a fair cross-section of our membership and clear-cut idea of what has actually happened in their lives. We hope that no one will consider these self-revealing accounts in bad taste. Our hope is that many alcoholic men and women desperately in need will see these pages and believe that it is only by fully disclosing ourselves and our problems that they may be persuaded to say, yes, I am one of them too. I must have this thing. All right. I said it was going to be short. It was more of a test. Yes, 20 minutes is short for Dion. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. You know I do. Peace out.